Hola, hi guys. So somebody asked me to do a video about how to forgive yourself for your mistakes. And I usually don't do video requests, but I felt called to speak on this subject because I've struggled with having a guilt complex too. So here's the thing. You feeling bad and regretting something you did, that is a good thing because it shows you have remorse and you have a conscience. But beating yourself up and dwelling on it, that's not a good thing. And we subconsciously believe that if we punish ourselves, that will lessen the punishment God gives us. But here's the thing. God is not a punisher. He's a teacher. God doesn't even want to punish you. He just wants you to learn from your mistake. And if you do, and you have remorse and you repent, God already forgave you. He's just waiting on you to forgive yourself. If you're constantly feeling guilty about mistakes you made in the past, that is not God convicting you. That is the enemy attacking you, trying to disguise himself as God. When God convicts his children, he doesn't attack us. He doesn't talk down to us. He gently corrects us. He'll tap you like, hey, you know that was wrong. You know you shouldn't be doing that. And that's it. When the enemy is behind it, he'll have you guilt tripping yourself. In Hebrew, the word Satan means adversary or accuser. So think about this. Let's say you made a mistake that hurt somebody else and you feel so bad. You wish you could take it back. You keep beating yourself up and dwelling on it and feeling like you're a bad person. Do you think God is making you feel that way, or do you think the devil is making you feel that way? The correct answer is the devil. Why? Because his name means adversary and accuser. I'm going to be very transparent about something I struggled to forgive myself for about 10 years ago. I had an affair with a married man. I was a completely different person. I didn't love myself. I had self-esteem issues, and I had a lot of unresolved trauma. And it started off innocent. We were just friends at work. And I knew he was married. I wasn't even attracted to him. But I gave him an inch and he took a mile. And we ended up in an affair. And the whole time I was in it, I felt sick. It disturbed my spirit, but I felt like I was in a trance or under some type of spell. And it's crazy because that's something I said I would never do. I would always demonize women who were in those situations. And then I ended up in that situation. But after a couple of months, I finally woke up and snapped out of whatever trance the devil had me in, and I ended it. Because I knew deep down in my spirit it was wrong. It just did not sit right with my spirit. And I knew that if I took somebody else's husband, God would not bless that marriage. So even though I wasn't walking with God at the time, I was still connected. Like I've always been connected to God, even though I was nowhere near as close to God as I am now. Even back then, I still knew deep down in my spirit, Kyla, this is below you. You know better than that. That was God convicting me. But fast forward to now, I've been single and abstinent for a little over 2 years. And sometimes that mistake I made will pop up in my head. And I'll hear a voice say, yeah, that's the reason why you're still not married. God is punishing you for that mistake. But that's not God. That's the devil. When I was actually in it, God was convicting me and telling me, you know better. But once I got out of it and I felt bad for what I did and I had remorse and I repented, that's all God needed. He didn't need me to go on an apology tour. He didn't need me to go on a guilt spree. Here's the thing. If God expected us to be perfect, he wouldn't have made Jesus. God gives us so much grace. If he's constantly telling us that we need to be forgiving, why wouldn't he forgive us? He's the most forgiving. So you feeling the opposite is the work of the enemy. The reason we beat ourselves up is because we beat each other up. We don't give each other grace. We don't give each other time to grow. We're so critical of each other, and I believe humans are more judgmental than God. If you have a guilt complex, 9 times out of 10, it stems from your childhood. If you had strict parents who had high expectations of you and expected perfection of you, that can cause you to have a guilt complex because you felt like you could never make a mistake. You felt like you had to be perfect. So when you make mistakes as an adult, you beat yourself up for it and have a hard time forgiving yourself and letting go. Learn to give yourself grace, especially if you didn't get it as a child. Give that to yourself now. Stop thinking you have to be perfect, and stop thinking you ever will be perfect, because you won't. So just accept the fact that you always gonna make mistakes. You made a mistake. It's not the end of the world. So what? You can't do shit to change the past. No amount of beating yourself up and dwelling on the past is going to change it. So if you know you've changed and you have remorse and you've repented, let it go. Stop it. You wasting your energy. So the next time you're beating yourself up over past mistakes, ask yourself, is this God speaking to me? And ask yourself, is there anything I can do to change the past? Both those answers are no, and reminding yourself of that will help you let go and be at peace with your past. If you need coaching, if you need healing, if you need spiritual guidance, I would love to work with you. My website is www.coachwithkai.com. I'll make sure I put it in the description box. And yeah, I pray this message was helpful. I pray it blessed you. If it did, make sure you like it, make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see y'all soon. Bye.